You know, it's funny because most Fortune 500 companies still struggle to have the impact that they're capable of on their social platforms, and there's not really a reason for that. I mean, personally, I think small businesses, entrepreneurs, they have, you know, they're eating Fortune 500 companies' lunch in that department. There's no doubting it. Entrepreneurs, they just know how to wield this amazing web of communication. And so I thought today I'd write about one of the most important pieces about social media. Now, as we're going through this, I want to acknowledge that managing your social media presence can be really overwhelming. You know, being an entrepreneur, juggling plates on a daily basis is no small task. I mean, I know this, I'm not being unrealistic here. So if you weren't in a place to afford a social media manager, one of the things that my clients look into is hiring maybe a college student to help out with this. And there are a few internships at some colleges. Some may be government funded. So I always recommend bonusing them out at the end of their term or your time with them, or letting them know that there's going to be some incentive, financial, monetary incentive to do this. I think it's important to value their knowledge. And there are people who are majoring in college, in university, in marketing or journalism, and they would love to get their hands on a professional account like yours for their CV. So don't diminish the importance of this opportunity for an intern. So let's dive into a few tips and resources that will help you leverage the full power of social media. And mostly today I'm going to be looking at the most important pieces of social media management, and one of the challenges, especially time-wise, the real challenges with entrepreneurs is to put their best foot forward in the social media. And this is content, dealing with content. Call this content curation. So what we're really thinking about when we think about curation of information is what goes in addition to your blogs and articles and your videos. I'm not really suggesting that this is the only thing you do. I mean, people want to hear your voice and they know your brand, but the truth is that finding high quality, relevant content to share on social media can be really, really time consuming. So don't worry. I mean, what you need to do really is to just try and make it easier to create a content curation system that works for you. So I'm going to try to cover that in this article. So we start out by keeping a list of all your favorite, let's call them thought leaders in social media, so that you can share their content. And of course it's all relative to what you believe and what you teach. I mean, what I coach my clients with, and you can retweet these leaders' tweets and share their posts on the other platforms. And of course on that list are people who may not be famous by any great stretch of the imagination, but they're thought leaders in their industries, or who share your work in common, as well as what it makes for a nice piece of reciprocity with your clients when you send them out these kind of thoughtful quotes from leaders and things. So I mean, there are a few tools that can help you build your own system for these. I currently like Feedly. Now, I mean, you can gather all your favorite news sources on Feedly and then browse them every morning to find relevant, useful content to share and use as an inspiration for creating your own content too. And one of its helpful features is it immediately gives you an idea of what's most shared on any given day, with a number of of other shares being shown right next to each headline, so you know what's popular, and then you can see, you can see already what's maybe trending, and form your own opinion, and then go ahead and jump on the first thing in the morning without having to do any research at all, except just that. And another tool that you can use is called unroll.me. Now those newsletters that you get, they can really deliver some hidden gems. So these are newsletters that come through via unroll.me, and they come in a ready-made form, so they can be tweeted, they can be pinned, they can be Instagrammed, so they're packaged, they can be Facebook, whatever. So unroll.me might come in handy in this case. And what it does is it gathers all your newsletters, packages them neatly. So instead of letting them lay empty in your inbox, it gathers them all in one place to deliver in kind of all in one bulk email, so it's easy to browse. Now there are quite a few brilliant tools that recommend content that you can share on your social media platforms, and it's content that's relevant to you, because that's really important at your audience. And one of them is called Sway, with 2 Y's at the end, and the other I like is called Groupiest. They're both tools that can, I'd recommend, and they recommend relevant content that you can tweet, based on the community that you build there and the topics that you tell them beforehand that you're interested in. So they're really helpful as a source. And if you really want your content to go viral, or even just to get, say, recognized, it's important that you use a visual aspect. So once you use these tools and you find all this amazing content, then it's time to make it really, really shareable by being visual, because research shows that visuals are processed 60,000 times faster in the brain than text. So that really explains the superpowers of visual content, especially when it comes to social marketing. You don't have to be a professional on video editing or design or anything like that. Don't worry about that. We have at our access nowadays, at our fingertips, social platforms like Vine and Instagram, and either one of these can create fun short videos that can be easily shared on Facebook or Twitter. Now Oreo, that's a American brand, as in the Oreo cookie, and I think that's a great example of a brand that makes the most out of their use of vines on their Twitter feed. So it's useful to find brands like these. If you were to check out Oreo on Twitter and check out their engagement, because it's very high. This is brands like these that you can creatively emulate, and it gets lots of retweets and comments and things like that. Another one I like is Canva. You've got to use it. It allows you to create professional looking images for social media in less than 3 minutes or something like that. The best part is you don't have to worry about the size of your images or anything, because they're built-in templates that you can write over. You can just add the picture, or you can add text, whatever you want to do. And another kind of way of conveying information is through infographics. They're great. You can create some of these with picto charts, and you can do that in a really quick couple of minutes. So now that you've got some ideas and some resources, let's just take a look at the frequency, because frequency is important. Now buffer.com will help you deliver your posts in a timely fashion. They'll help you time your posts, so you can just preload posts and preload, say, retweets and everything like that. And their research shows that you want to post on Twitter a minimum of 3 times a day. And not to worry, you can Hootsuite or use Hootsuite or another content manager to preload as far out as you like. But Facebook is a maximum of 2 posts, I believe, and then LinkedIn is a maximum of 2 posts. Google Plus, maximum of 3, and then there's Pinterest, a maximum of 5, and Instagram at least once a day. So you can go a little deeper in Instagram and get a little crazy there if you want to, because that's part of the fun there. So I hope this helps you think of some tools that you can put into your planning and your development of your content, because that's the very first thing that's going to make you really, get really noticed and get you really noticed on the social platform. And I hope this gives you a little food for thought about your social media.